What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Two Guys One Week podcast. My name is Tyler Plackey, and I will be your host. Thank you. Too kind, too kind. And alongside me today is my glorious co-host. He is back for the 5th week in a row, Mr. Alex Smith.
Howdy. Hold the applause.
Alex, welcome back, buddy. This is episode 5 now.
Episode 5, first
Part
episode
2.
with video.
First episode with true video. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Checks out on the YouTube, and this should actually pull up video on Spotify as well if I do it correctly. So we're gonna try that out. But real quick before we get started,
doesn't break.
Yeah, no kidding. Hopefully nothing breaks. But before we get started today, this is an adult podcast. So we may use foul language. We may talk about adult subjects and not really overall care if people like us or agree with us. So if that offends you in any way, shape, or form, please, and I cannot stress this enough, please go find another podcast to listen to. Thank you. And real quick, get this out of the way. Speaking of adult subjects. Adult subjects.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah. So.
All right. So on the docket for this week, we got our 1 week segment per usual. Topic 1, week 1 of March Madness, and we can actually talk, so round 1 and 2 of March Madness and other college basketball news. Also, we got MLB and first round picks from the last 10 years. We got a few key players that have been drafted 1-1. And then 3, we got college baseball, just kind of updating on top 25 and kind of crazy things that have gone on. And then our glorious hot and cold streaks. I think that's
my favorite. Fan favorite.
And then Tyler's famous
You're shitting me!
Situation of the week. And then any other odds or ends that we may come up with throughout the bit.
Yep.
So, all right, Tyler.
What do you want to do? What I do?
You want to go first or me?
I'll go first. I had a pretty fun last week. So obviously we did some fun stuff together. We also did some stuff on our own. A couple things I did on my own. Went out bass fishing per usual. A lot of getting the line wet. Was out throwing some finesse spinner baits. Had some fun with that. Caught a lot of fish. Great YouTube video. Y'all go check out my YouTube channel. Looking right at the camera for this, Tyler Plackey Hobbies. It's on YouTube. Just reached 850 subscribers, so kind of fired off there. So yeah. Other than that, I mean, fished, worked. Was cold, was warm. Kind of depended on the day. Was rained on, was not rained on. We had some tornadoes nearby, which was fun. So I got to go outside. The sirens went off, and so obviously we do what everyone else does in the Midwest, and we went outside and just looked for it. Luckily, don't north of us. Funny enough, watching the cells on the radar, I looked at my fiance like an hour before. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching this. It's gonna miss us, and she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna go north and south of us because it was moving it from like a southwest to northeast angle, and fucking sure enough, as it came up, it fucking split, and just we got a little drizzle, and that was it. It poured and tornadoed everywhere but here, so wasn't too mad about that. You know, obviously it's yeah.
I'm convinced that all Midwesterners could be meteorologists on the news.
Oh yeah, dude, meteorologists
out there,
are
hands like this on their hips, just yeah.
Now here's how you do it. So for you guys, and this is key, you guys should be watching. It'd be stand out there drinking beer. That ain't gonna hit us. We're all right, and it's that simple. But dude, meteorologists, real quick rant of the week. Dun dun dun. Meteorologists are the only fucking people in the world that can be wrong every time, and no one really cares. Have you guys noticed that?
I think it's pretty similar to baseball. You can be right 3 times out of 10 and be able to do your job.
Yeah, you just got to be able to tell people when there's like really dangerous weather, and fucking other than that, I think you're fine. If you're a little bit wrong about the rain, hello, Mr. Smith. Hello, Bill.
Yeah, that's Bill Smith. What'd he say?
Ooh, Bill hopped on the podcast?
I wish. Tucker? He's upstairs. We're cool.
Ooh, we're getting inside look into the Smith family household.
Mr. Bill Smith. He's asking about where my son was. He's playing video games with Colt.
He's somewhere. I mean, he can't get into too much trouble. He's small, but not that small. But yeah, I mean, just, tornado dodging, and that's really about it for what I did on my own. I'll just let you hit a couple things you did on your own real quick if you would like.
Last episode was right after Monster Jam, so we already talked about that.
Yep, we did talk about Monster Jam already on episode 4.
Yep.
Which, if you haven't listened to it, go check it out. Banger episode.
pause and go back.
Yep. Or finish the episode, then go back.
Either one.
Yeah.
Um,
But go back.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I didn't really do a whole lot. Thursday was Christmas in March, start of March Madness.
Ooh, yep.
So I got to. It was decent enough outside. I was able to take our TV, one of my TVs, and put it like in the garage.
Oh boy.
So we like tailgated, sat in the driveway, and watched it. So that was
you go.
fun. Made some hot dogs, stuff like that. Just
Speaking
something
of
different.
Speaking of Thursday March Madness, you and I watched a little March Madness together. Just a hair, if you recall. We watched a couple games on our way to St. Louis, Missouri.
That's right. Oh, I watched it on Tuesday. That's right. I
Oh
got
yeah,
my
yeah,
days
yeah.
mixed
You
up.
pulled the TV out for fucking first
Tuesday.
four in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday, the first four games, the playing
Yep.
games.
The ones in Dayton.
That's right. Because Thursday we were on our way. But yeah, we did watch a little basketball.
Yes, we did. We watched some good ball games. Fucking,
Other than that, like we'll talk about the rest of the week because we were together
Yeah.
the rest of that week.
Yep.
So
So Alex, why didn't you have much to do last week? Because you were on something special this last week and then this upcoming week.
yep. So my school was on spring break.
All right.
This week and next week, so we get 2 weeks. So it's been nice. That's why I was able to go hang out with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
See, I had to take
when-
PTO. That's
I always
okay.
I always think when there's breaks like that, there's like, oh, I need to do this or I need to go do something.
Mhm.
But then I end up just chilling, which it's not too bad. It's
Nah,
good to
some-
relax
dude.
and recover.
Oh yeah. But some of the shit that we deal with working in schools, dude, fucking sometimes you just need a little bit of time to recover and just not do anything.
Yeah, play basketball with the baby.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Dude, I just found a spare grape sitting in my bowl. I didn't even know I had.
There we go.
Fuck yeah.
Love grapes around here.
Yep. Love a good grape. Things we did together. So Thursday evening after work, I came home and Alex met me at my house. Fucking picked me up. We got in his beautiful, glorious truck and we drove west. And Alex, where'd we go when we headed west?
St. Louis,
Missouri.
Missouri.
We had a fun little trip on the fucking way out though. Had a nice drive. We stopped in the beautiful, typically raining, but this time dry, Effingham, Illinois. We got some fantastic Panda Express, and we went to Walmart. Got to meet some interesting people at nighttime in Walmart. At 10 o'clock at Walmart, fucking middle of Illinois. So always some interesting critters in there.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then we went and stopped and got some gas. And then made our way out to my house in St. Louis, to my parents' house. Got there late, fucking went to bed, woke up butt early on Friday morning. And Alex, what did we go do Friday morning? Why'd we get up so early?
We got to go on a boat into the Missouri River with
Yes, we
guide Ryan Casey.
Ryan
The one and
Casey.
only.
Yep. The one and only Ryan Casey of Show Me Catfishing. If you guys are into catfishing and you are somewhere around the St. Louis area, when I say around, fucking, then a couple hour drive, 4 or 5 hours. I mean, hell, if you like catfishing and you can fucking get to St. Louis, I'd go book a trip with this guy. He takes about a year to get a thing in with. Like, we got lucky and he happened to just have a last minute opening while we were there. So we were able to jump in. But a little backstory on Ryan. He is a longtime tournament fisherman, fucking won a ton of tournaments, knows how to get on fish, and fucking really cool dude. He's going to sit there and shit talk you the whole time, but he's going to put you on some catfish, you're going to catch some fish, and you're sitting on his boat, and you're going to have a good old time. So, but yeah. And man, that boat was cool, wasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, the only boats I've been on are like pontoon, like I don't
Yeah.
want to say a party boat, but like just riding around in a boat. So that
Yeah,
was
oh yeah.
pretty cool to experience that.
A true fishing boat was fucking cool, because I'd never been on true fishing. Well, fuck, I guess I've been on Matt's boat, and Matt was supposed to be in the episode, but we had some technical difficulties, so no Matt this week. Sorry, guys. Maybe at some point in the future we'll get him in an episode.
He was
But,
there with us though.
He was there with us fishing. It was his idea, but it was a ton of fun. It was really cool for me because I've been on Matt's boat, and I apparently it has sonar on it now, but I'd never seen it. So I got my first ever experience as a fisherman with live sonar. Ryan didn't use forward-facing sonar; he used down and side imaging, which still fucking gave plenty of readings for him to find catfish. But it was really fucking cool sitting there listening to him explain to all three of us on how to, how to read the sonar, what you're looking for, how it works, all that stuff. And I understand why it's so heavily used now in like fishing tournaments, especially in fucking bass fishing with forward-facing sonar. And as someone who will eventually be wanting to get a bass boat, which Alex, you're always welcome to get on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, you and I on a boat all day would be fucking epic. But it definitely shows that it's something that I will be investing in when I get my boat. And yeah, we got a couple fish. We're gonna have some fucking videos posted and I'm gonna post the video of my fish. It's a fucking hilarious.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy. I'm not gonna spoil too fucking much here because I want you guys to check out the video. Check it out on our Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You guys can find them all there. It's going to be fucking posted right after the episode announcement on Wednesday morning. So they'll come out probably by about noon on Wednesday, I would think. But yeah, it's a funny one. And I may even end up throwing it on the YouTube shorts as well because we do have a YouTube now, as you guys might be able to know. So yeah, so that'll be fun. I got some other ones, but mine's the best view because it's I was wearing the DJI version of GoPro. It's just fucking action camera on my chest. And it's fun when you're the one that catches it. Obviously, I can sit there and record someone else, and I got Matt's fish on video, which is pretty fucking cool. But seeing like the fucking like person's view of fishing is always pretty cool. So you kind of feel like you're reliving it. So
one thing that I have to say about the whole trip and Ryan Casey is like I was kind of worried about it being too professional or him being kind of a dickhead. Just because we're amateurs.
Yeah.
But he was really personable, really cool, really willing to teach us things too.
Yeah, I'd say
just acting like we're dumb.
Yep. So it's someone who has been catfishing just as many times as you have, Alex. This is both of our second trip catfishing and first trip not being Billy Goats. But as someone who didn't know jack shit about fucking catfishing, it was really nice for him to explain stuff. As I said, he's going to kind of shit talk you a bit, but he's really good he's a really good people person, so he can really kind of read the room. And so he knows, like, okay, like, I can keep razzing him, or, oh, I need to fucking chill it off a bit. It was fun because he'd sit there and he would razz, I'd miss a fish, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'd miss a fish because I don't know what I'm doing. And then he would, he'd shit talking, oh, fuck, this guy sucks, and, all this stuff. But then he'd sit there and say, okay, here's what you did wrong. Here's how we're going to fix it so we can get you on the fucking next fish. Right. And so he was really good. He's definitely a car salesman in a past life. He knows how to sell. That's for sure. Yep. But yeah, shout out to Ryan Casey and shout out to his to his first mate. Wish we could fucking remember his name. He got called like 3 or 4 different fucking names. He was Danny. He was John. He was fucking Timmy Joe. And he was everything. So... But to the first mate, shout out to you two, dude. You're fucking cool. You're nice to have along. You two were fun to fucking shoot the shit with. We were on that boat it was a 6-hour charter, and we ended up being on it for about fucking 8.5 hours. And it was just a really, really fun time.
Yep. And we caught what? 6 fish?
6 fish total. Matt had the big fish of the day. Yep. 2 each. But yeah, Matt had the big fish of the day. At 18 pounds. Matt also had the smallest fish of the day. Fucking that's second, or was that his first one?
I think that was his first one.
His first one was a fucking pretty much a bluegill, in catfish form. But you and I each had 2 moderate sized fish. I mean, nothing that's gonna set records. But for me, I mean, a 3 or 4 pound fish. I mean, it's as big of a bass as I've ever caught in my life. And I've carp fished and caught some bigger fish there. But it's fun to haul in a big fish.
Yeah, I mean, mine was probably, 6-7 pounds?
Yeah, yours was a good 6 or 7 fucking pounder. I've got the picture of it, and for those of you that want to see our fish, check out the episode art because all of our big fish are on there.
I mean, that's probably the biggest fish I've ever caught, at least that I can think of, so.
Yeah.
Anything is cool.
Yeah.
One of the running jokes we had the whole time, if you look at the name of the episode, we talked about the Mendoza line. If none of you know what that means, it's a baseball term of a player that is hitting right around under 200. So, Tyler, do you care to explain why that was a running joke the whole time?
So, the running joke of the fucking time. So, we get out there, and Ryan, we get on the boat. Fucking, he sits us down, drives us out. fucking casts out all the lines. We got 6 rods. He explains going from left to right. We got rods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Fucking. He says, okay, you 3 are gonna fucking sit here. Me and Jim Bob are gonna sit up. Whatever. We're gonna call him fucking Jim Bob because I don't remember the first mate's name. Like I say, it called 8,000 different names.
I feel so bad because I really liked him. And
he was a fucking cool dude. I went on to
name.
the Show Me Catfishing website to try and fucking find him, and I don't think he's part of that. And I don't know. I couldn't find anything about him. But so fucking Ryan and Jim Bob sat up on the fucking bow of the boat. We sat on the stern looking over the back, and he would tell us, hey, watch rod. You know, for me on my first one was, hey, watch rod 6, and I went up, and fucking first fish, catch the fish, and that's the fucking picture I got. But from there, for some reason, my beginner's luck died. And when I say died, it fell off a fucking cliff and crashed and burned. Where
fell off the boat like you almost did the first fish.
Hey, we don't want to spoil too much here. That's to come in the video. Funny enough, if you watch the video, it doesn't look as bad on video. It really fucking. I looked and I can't find what I tripped over.
When he posts it, make sure to pay attention.
Yeah, it's really fucking funny. The start of the video is me shit talking Matt. Funny enough.
There we go.
With Matt, so fucking it's part of it. But I kept missing fish, and I was like, I was 1 for 1, so I'm batting 1,000. I was 1 for 2, 1 for 3, 1 for 4, and at 1 for 4, they're really razzing me because I just keep fucking missing fish. I'm like, hey, I'm still batting above the Mendoza line here, like the fucking Mendoza line. So I had to explain the Mendoza line to them because they weren't huge fucking baseball guys, and that's only a thing you would know if you were like a huge baseball guy. And so as the fucking day went on and I kept missing fish, they were like, man, how's that Mendoza line doing for you? And we were shooting the shit, and we got done. I think I was 2 for 12 on fish, on bites. I mean, dude, I missed a ton of fish. And I feel like shit for missing them because I wish I was better at catfishing, and hopefully I'm going to try and go next week. I guess actually in 2 weeks technically. Oh, I'm going to try and go on my own. But so that's why it is. And then we were talking to them about the podcast and everything, and they said they're going to listen. So hopefully you guys are listening. If you are, what's up? Fucking
comment what the first mate's name is, because that's going to bother me, so I figure it out.
Dude, I feel so bad about it. Even Matt didn't remember his name. But we were talking about it and said we were doing an episode on this, and they were going to check it out. And they said, you should name the episode Just Below the Mendoza Line. I was like, you know what? Fucking I should. That's funny. So that is why it's called Just Below the Mendoza Line, because I fucking swing and miss at catfish, apparently.
One thing about that boat, especially like on the way back after, because we were almost 20 miles away from our docking point,
and I didn't fucking realize that. So Alex, do you want to explain real quick how did we get that far? I mean, because dude, we were out there.
Yeah, so Ryan he took us out, and I didn't know this, but in the Missouri River, these man-made, what are those called?
They're just like little man-made just areas that help to reduce like silting and erosion off to the side. They fucking build like fucking points out. They come out in the 90-degree out parallel with the river. So
yeah, and Ryan knows this, and with sonar, he says catfish usually hang out in those. So he took us out a bit, and we went through a few of those, and we just kept going out. We'd find one, and we sit there for 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. About.
And then move to the next one if we stop getting any bites or anything. And then at one point, Tyler goes, how far out are we? And he's like, oh, we're about 15 miles away from where we started.
I thought we were like fucking 3 at that point, dude.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. I thought max 5 the whole time.
Yeah.
At the end, he's like, yeah, we're 20.
Yeah, by the end, I think we're like 20 or 22 miles out.
Yeah. So on the way back, we hit... so the sonar thing says how fast you're going.
Yeah, it's got full GPS depth finder, all that shit.
Yeah, and it's reached 51.
Just a little over. Yep. So fucking going with the current. So obviously we went upriver and fucking came back down at the end because that's more of a safety thing. Because if you fucking go upriver and your motor dies, you just float back down the fucking river. If you go down the river, your motor dies, you're shit out of luck. But yeah, going against the current, we were up in like the 42, 43 mile an hour range. But on the way back, we pushed like 51 to 52 mile an hour, which, I mean, in a car with the windows open, it feels pretty quick. Dude, on a fucking boat, that was fast. And we were hauling.
Well, I guess that day it got up to like almost 60, so it wasn't too bad. But being out there at like 37 degrees and then it warming up and then driving with all that wind.
Yep.
It was a little chilly.
It was a little fucking chilly. So what that dude for fucking that boat was a 26 footer, right? I think fucking he said 26 footer.
I
Um,
believe so.
I don't think it was 20. I think it was 26. But they were talking about like why the length was so important, and dude, that thing was fucking smooth as butter on the water. I mean, there was not anything where you hit like boom in your seat. Like it was just he was on plane, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah. It was really. Yeah. He. You can tell he's driven a boat a few
He's
times.
driven a boat or fucking two in his life.
Yeah. And so if you, I don't know if you plugged already, but I'll plug it. If
Okay.
you want to try to get Ryan Casey or any
Yep.
of his other, he said that all the other captains are really, really good too.
Mhm. Yep.
It's Show Me Catfishing. Is it showmecatfishing.com?
Yep. Showmecatfishing.com. Fucking really cool website. I'm gonna pull it up right here and tell you exactly what you're gonna find. So if you type in "show me catfishing," it's showmecatfishing.com. It's gonna say St. Louis Catfishing Guide. If I can pull it up, and you're gonna fucking see. First thing you're gonna see is Ryan Casey on his boat with a dude holding a fucking humongous fish, and fucking you're just gonna scroll through and fucking see ginormous fucking fish. And if I can hopefully you guys catch one of those. We didn't do great on that, um, but yeah. So, but
I
it's a
blame the
fun
fish.
time, huh?
I blame the fish.
I blame the fish. Okay, so they did. In my defense, for the Mendoza line, they did say that the fish were extremely finicky that day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Ryan was
fucking
confused himself.
yeah. If you can confuse, so tell you guys the kind of fisherman Ryan Casey is. The first mate attests to this story. Him and Ryan were out fucking catfishing one time on the Mississippi. If you've never been on, around, or near the Mississippi in any fucking way, it's a very, very powerful river. It's a fucking hugely wide, extremely deep, very fucking hard current river. And they were out what they call bumping, where it's a catfishing technique where you kind of just bump it along the bottom and try and attract fish. And apparently Ryan was reeling it in, and apparently got a little bit of resistance on the end of his line and said, "Oh, I got a plastic grocery bag on the end of my line." Keep in mind, this dude's in a fucking river with 8 ounce or 10 ounce weights on the end, pulling it back through fucking current, 60 foot underwater, and was right. So this guy can feel a fucking plastic bag on the end of a not very sensitive setup. So it's fucking this dude knows what he's doing, and obviously won a lot of tournaments and fucking really well known. He's been on a fuck ton of TV shows, but yeah. So this dude knows what he's doing, and so for him to be confused about the fish was interesting.
Hmm.
So
Overall, it was really fun, especially since I'm not a huge fisher fisher person
yep.
like you and Matt, but I really thought it was fun.
Yeah, I was very proud of you, Alex. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex did hold his catfish. Alex touched his fish. Alex does not like touching fish, and that's okay. There's some fish that you don't want to grab because, like bluegill, I fucking hate bluegill, dude. I hate screwing with them because I hate how prickly their fucking dorsal fins are. But yeah. So that was Friday. Friday night, fucking Alex and I went out for drinks and dinner with my dad and some of his buddies, and I'm going to pull up my phone, and we're going to talk about, because like I said, this is an adult podcast. We fucking talk about adult subjects. I would like to talk about the drinks we had that night, because Alex, those were some good drinks, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
So I started off the fucking night with a 22-ounce Michelob Ultra, because I fucking love Mich Ultras. And Alex, what'd you start the night off with?
I got what's called a blackberry bourbon mash. So in it is Buffalo Trace bourbon, blackberry and ginger syrup, sweet sour. I'm guessing like the sweet and sour mix.
Yep.
Club soda with a lemon and orange. So lemon and orange were just like garnishes.
Yeah.
Oh my! You took a sip of it.
Yep.
Good.
I took a sip of it. So, Alex, are you a heavy alcohol drinker?
Absolutely not.
Are you a liquor drinker?
If I drink, yes.
So, Alex is not a beer guy, but he's not a big drinking guy. He doesn't drink often, and when he does, he doesn't drink much. And he slurped that thing down like it was water.
That's good.
So while he was drinking on that, I decided, hey, I'm going to get a little fuckered up tonight, just have a little fun. And I'm going to join him on the liquor trail. So I got what was called, since we're both golf guys, the fucking John Daly Bomber. The John Daly Bomber is Firefly Sweet Tea Vodka, pink lemonade, wildberry puree, blueberry Red Bull, and garnished with a lemon. And I got mine in because I tasted Alex's blackberry bourbon mash. He decided to taste mine. And Alex, what'd you order next?
Same thing you ordered.
Because wow, that thing was dude. And I know it's because the fucking Red Bull is so sweet and all that caffeine it masks the liquor. But dude, that thing was dangerous.
That's what I told. Well, I think you were taking a picture of it anyways, but I told you to send it to me because that John
Mm-hmm.
Day bomber is something that I'm gonna try to make like over the summer, especially like if we go to the races or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, those would be fun at the race. We could have your little brother drive us home.
Just get a Gatorade cooler full of it.
Oh my,
Hmm.
you want to die?
It doesn't have to be full, but just something where we can just
Oh, fucking like almost like a
refill
jungle
our
juice.
cups. Yeah.
Yeah, I could fucking. I think I could snag us a couple gallon one of them. I think I have my in there. Um, but that was fucking Friday night. We went home and then we got up Saturday morning. And Alex, what did we do Saturday morning?
So funny story. This was actually the original reason for going to St. Louis,
Mm-hmm. Yep. So here's the
but
original
we
reason.
ended
Yeah.
up going to the St. Louis Blues game.
Yeah. We went to the St. Louis Blues game on Saturday. They played at 2 o'clock against the Chicago Blackhawks. Going into the game, this was my third ever Blues game in my life. Fucking third ever hockey game, professional hockey game. I went to high school hockey games because that's actually a big thing in St. Louis. Um, the third ever game. I don't know shit about hockey. I don't know who the players are. The only thing I know about hockey is that the Blues were good in 2019. We won the Stanley Cup, and we fucking hate the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks and the Blues are like the Cardinals and the Cubs, or the Yankees and the Red Sox. Fucking who it's a big rivalry. And
Right.
so the place was bumping. And we had talked about a little bit of betting with Colt. You wanna talk about that one since he is your brother?
Yeah. So we got to where I think we were at our seats already,
Hmm.
and I get him, or maybe we were walking in. Either way, we
I
were
think we
there,
were walking in.
and I get a message from Cole. He goes, our game 5.5 over under question mark.
Yeah.
So we had a consensus of choosing over. So I sent it to him,
Yep.
and then 30 seconds later he says, "What's his name? Kyrou." He says, "Is he
Yeah.
scoring a
Jordan
goal?"
Kyrou, I think.
Yeah. And Matt's the hockey guy. He's like,
Matt is the hockey guy.
yes.
Matt said yes.
So Cole put it in on his fake sports
Betting.
betting
Yeah.
app thing that he does, whatever it is.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we did not hit that for him.
We hit neither of those. We backwards the parlay.
The line was crazy good though.
The line was fucking right on. It was a 4-1 game at the end. The Blues did beat the Blackhawks. We got to see two fights and one lost tooth.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the tooth.
The dude that spit the tooth out.
Hmm.
We also got to see Pat Maroon's final game in St. Louis. He is a former Blue. He was dubbed the hometown hero by himself. Which, Alex, can you dub yourself the hometown hero, or does that need to be brought on to you by somebody else?
If liquor's involved and you won the Stanley Cup afterwards, I guess you're fine.
I guess he can. He's a born and raised St. Louis guy. Won the 2019 Stanley Cup with the Blues. And is now with the Blackhawks in his final season. And this was his fucking final trip to the St. Louis to play against the Blues in St. Louis. And so obviously he got a big standing ovation. So it was cool to see him, even though it doesn't really affect me one way or the other. It was just like, oh, I'm kind of seeing something pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, it was.
My first ever NHL game. I've seen Cincinnati Cyclones, which is
Mhm.
like in baseball terms, like a double A affiliate of I think the Rangers.
Okay.
But I've seen those, but I really wanted to go see an NHL game, which
Yep.
is what originated this whole trip.
Yeah. Yep. This trip started with you telling Matt you want to see an NHL game, and then Matt was like, "Well, hey, what if we fucking? Why is my thing blinking back here? I don't know. All right, the thing was blinking. I could see it. What? That's cue for you guys to be watching this on YouTube or on Spotify, not just listening.
Yeah, go see
But
what it is.
yeah, come see what it is. But fucking yeah, it started off by you telling Matt he wants to see an NHL game, and then we were going to fish on. We were going to bank catfish on. We were like, no, because last time I took a rock up the ass, literally.
Yeah,
Not
Red
like
Bank.
it didn't physically enter my ass, but it was fucking right there. I mean, it was knocking on the door. Um, and so then we're like, okay, we'll take Matt's boat, or fucking technically dad's boat. And Matt didn't really want to do that because he didn't have much of a fucking place to put it. Which, funny enough, do you remember what he said to us about that?
I don't.
So when he was at the Alton place, the last place he lived,
Hmm.
we'd fucking talked about getting the boat, and he said he had nowhere to park it.
Right.
Well, when we talked about the boat this time, he said, "Oh, well, if I was still at the Alton place, I'd have a place to park." I was like, "What the fuck do you mean? You just," I was like, "What do you mean? Come on!" But
he just wanted us to go with Ryan.
he wanted to go to Ryan, which fucking, I mean, it was fun. I learned a ton about catfishing, but
Oh
so
yeah.
then we ended up going catfishing just because we like to fish, or at least Matt and I do, and Alex is starting to enjoy it a little more. Alex, didn't you say that's gonna be one of your goals this year?
Yeah, one of my goals is to just be able to go fishing, especially like I think Tucker will really like it when he gets
Mm-hmm.
older.
I
And
agree.
even now, like we went today
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to go with me. So
Yeah.
just to be able to be more comfortable with obviously like taking the hook out of the fish and
Yeah.
holding it and throwing it back, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Since I'm not much of a like hunter or fisher
Yeah.
type of person, it's more just sports. So
I get
that's
you.
one of my goals is to be able to like if you ever want to go that way, you don't have to babysit me. We just go.
I don't mind. I'll teach you what I know, dude. It ain't much, but I can teach you. But yeah. So going back to the Blues game, we had great seats. We were up in the upper deck, fucking about halfway up the upper deck, which is a good spot to be in hockey. We are off kind of in a corner, but Alex, we got to sit behind Towel Man. And for those of you who don't know, Talman is he's a fan for the St. Louis Blues. So it start off with, he's like a super fan. And it start off as just like a thing on his own. And then now he's like, I think, incorporated into the Blues in some way. But after a Blues goal, he'll fucking stand up and he'll wave his towel around in the air. And then he'll be like, he'll throw like the number one up it. And then if we have one goal, we'll yell one. And if we had two, we'll go one, two, and etc. And if we got to fucking four because we scored four
Yeah.
goals. Um, and then he'll fucking throw a souvenir towel out into the stands somewhere. And he's just kind of become like a little local celebrity. So it was kind of cool to be that close to him.
Mhm.
Never got a towel though.
Dang it.
We were close to another local celebrity, and that was Kazoo Guy. We dubbed him a local celebrity because we couldn't find him. There's a guy somewhere in the stands with a kazoo. They'd go, and you hear "Let's go Blues," right? The fucking Blues chant.
Yep.
But he did it like fucking 100 times during the game, and Alex, I don't think we were anywhere near where this guy was.
No, I thought he was a couple sections over to our right. So every time I'd hear it go off the first time, me and you would both snap
go-
our necks over there trying to find
Yep.
him. I could never see
Dude,
close to who it was.
he had like the disappearing kazoo or some shit, dude, because he couldn't fucking find that thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yep. And then a couple rows back, this one was fucking kind of I want to say funny,
Unfortunate.
unfortunate fucking situation. 2 rows back and about fucking 4 or 5 seats down to our left was a fan from the Blackhawks who was, Alex, how would you describe him?
I would say he was a bigger individual.
He was a larger individual. Seemed like a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But definitely fucking larger individual. And he was working his way. And for those of you that don't know, the fucking backs of the seats are perfectly flush with the ground of the row behind you. So there's like no little like ledge to fucking help you hold on. And this guy's trying to squeeze his way back into his seat. He's squeezing through people. And he slipped and fell and rolled down 2 rows and landed on top of a group of probably 13 or 14-year-old girls, and also got his leg and foot stuck in the seat of the row above him. First off, I'm surprised he didn't snap a bone.
Right.
I can't believe he got up and was fucking fine. The only thing hard on him was his ego. But dude, that one, I felt bad because we felt it.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's kind of funny, but then you're like, oh, that guy's got to feel terrible, and one like hurt terrible too,
Yeah,
and because like I don't think he fell on the girls, but he might have,
like felt into them.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like they were just kind of wondering what happened. So I don't know if he
Yeah.
was trying to scoot through the aisle or if he was trying to get
I
in the
think he
aisle
like
behind
spilled
us
his
and
beer too.
yeah, get in the aisle behind us and then like step up and over into there, but. It's more unfortunate than anything because
Yeah.
you could tell that he was super embarrassed and stuff about it.
Yeah, I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he just kind of sat. I mean, one the blue or the Blackhawks getting their ass whipped. He didn't have much to say at that point. But two, the
That
dude
too.
just You just fucking tell like he didn't want to be there anymore, and you feel bad for the guy because like obviously he spent money to watch this game, like he should want to be there, and you just kind of fucking you feel bad for the guy, and there's not really much you and I can say to him about that. We're just like, well, um, so yeah,
Yeah.
the other stuff we did that day before we went out for breakfast that morning at the famous Uncle Bill's Pancake House in St. Louis. Alex, how was your first trip to Uncle Bill's?
That was fantastic. I got the what is it called, the Ford
The 4D.
4D. Yep.
Yep, the two
Eggs.
by two by two by two.
Yeah. So 2 eggs, 2 things of sausage, pancakes,
Wasn't there bacon
2 pieces of bacon,
and then hash browns?
and then hash browns. It was tasty.
It's fucking so. Uncle Bill's is a place in St. Louis. They have 2 locations. The one on Manchester Road, out by 141, is the original one. It used to be fucking open 24 hours, but COVID killed that. Now it's
Thanks,
open
COVID.
select hours. Fuck COVID. But they're an excellent breakfast spot. They won like 22 or 23 straight years of best breakfast in St. Louis. Uh, Decor is straight out of the fucking 70s. I mean, it hasn't changed since it opened, and the same people, pretty much the same core group of people, been there since I was like 5 years old. So fucking, I mean, I went there, you know, twice a month with my dad growing up for breakfast, and it's been the same fucking people there. It's just such a good fucking spot. I got the country fried steak and eggs with sausage gravy on it, next kind of hash browns, and that was as good as I always remember it. After that, we went to Academy. I got a new buzz bait, and I got the fucking some chili lime seasoning, which I got to try on my chicken. And dude, okay, if you guys ever find the hardcore carnivore brand, typically it's found at like an Academy. You can probably go on like an Amazon and find it. Try their chili lime seasoning. It's got a little kick, but it's not super spicy. But it's got that good like uplifting zest and that freshness from the lime. It's like a dried lime powder almost. And oh my god, dude, was that good on chicken?
I can imagine that being really good on chicken.
Oh fuck, I'm excited to try that on some steak.
Yeah, I don't remember what brand it is, but I got garlic pepper because I always use garlic, like
Yep.
garlic powder and pepper on my stuff anyway. So kind of mixed up, makes it a little
Yep.
easier.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to add is Mama and Papa Plackey were great hosts. They were always nice as usual,
Yep.
and I thank them profusely, but thank them again because it was great to have to or get to one get to see them because
Yeah.
they're your parents, and two
Yep.
just like saving a little bit of money and
Yeah.
getting a hotel or something.
A lot better than fucking getting a hotel or sleeping on an air mattress in Matt's bright ass apartment. So
Great people.
great people, great people. Then we went to Plato's Closet. I got a sweatshirt and a jersey. You didn't get anything, but then you actually had to go back to my house because
Yeah, I forgot my coat on the dining room table that I was supposed to grab.
Yep. So Alex forgot that, and then we get from there. We go to Matt's. Go to the Blues game. We go back to Matt's, get Alex's truck. Alex used the bathroom. We get in the truck to leave. We get across the Illinois border, about fucking 30 minutes from his place. And Alex, what did we learn?
I somehow managed to take off my hat that had my Oakley sunglasses on it and left it on his island.
So we are working on getting those back. Hopefully, we will have an update for you guys in next week's episode on the return of Alex's hat and sunglasses. I'm sure you guys are on the edge of your seat for it. But that trip back, Alex, where did we stop first on our trip back?
Blue Springs Cafe. What a
Blue,
place.
yep, Blue Springs Cafe is a spot fucking about 40 miles into Illinois on 70 if you're going eastbound. It's almost at the end of Illinois if you're fucking going westbound. But it is home, and you'll see the signs for miles of Foot High Pie. And so you go in, and it is this just middle Illinois podunk fucking family style restaurant. Everything's straight out of what looks like a farmhouse. It's all fucking dark oak wood and just, old farm decorations. And it's family style meals. They got some fucking apps. But what they're known for is Foot High Pie. So they have 2 types of pie. They have their normal fruit pies, which is like blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, peach, apple, etc. And then they have what's called their meringue pies. Right? Isn't that what they call that? Meringue pies?
Yep.
And it is almost like a gelatin pudding pie with a nice crust that's about 4 inches tall, and then about 7 to 8 inches of meringue. And holy shit, was it good! That was only my second time ever going there with the amount of times I passed in my life.
I say the first time I went out to St. Louis with you
Yep.
when for Matt's bachelor weekend,
Mm-hmm.
we passed it, and I was like, "Oh, that seems interesting." And we never
Yep.
ended up making it there, so I figured
Yeah.
we'd go this time.
Yep. Fuck yeah. So we got foot eye pie. Alex had his first ever toasted raviolis. Even though they weren't like to my standards, what I'm used to, great. They're still good. Right? You could tell it's just like the freezer brand. You get it, a sandwich so you bake in the oven. But I mean, still, it's a good ravioli.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then the crab rangoons were really good too.
They did. Funny enough, this place had fucking crab rangoons that were excellent. And real quick for those who don't know what a toasted ravioli is, it's a you take it's very typically a beef ravioli that is breaded and deep fried, so it's got that nice like breaded crust on the outside of it.
It's basically kind of like I would say like a fancy pizza roll.
Yeah, it's almost a fucking fancy pizza roll. No sauce in it, no cheese in it. It's just meat inside usually, and then you just dip it in whatever sauce you want. Um, and then so last week, Alex, we talked about a game. Do you remember the game we talked about? It was that gas pump game.
Sadly,
So we talked about in last week's episode. If you didn't listen to it, pause the episode or finish, but go back and listen to last week's episode. And the Sacramento Kings played a halftime game where a fan had to come out and try and pump gas to a 0-0 at the end. And Alex had probably four attempts on it during this fucking trip where we stopped for gas. And Alex, how'd you do? Were you above or below the Mendoza line?
I was definitely below because I know like the first time I just went till it filled up and threw it in.
Okay.
But the last two on the way back, I don't remember the second one, but the last two on the way back, I know. One, I went to like jumped to 03, and then I got heckled by some dude in a sparkly jacket. So, who, yeah, who also had a Jeep. He goes, you missed the zeros. I was like, yeah, I know. Every
No
time.
shit, Sherlock.
And then I think we stopped in Terre Haute, and I hit 01.
Yeah, where you almost got me fucking killed.
I did not.
Dude, I thought, okay, so for those of you that aren't from Indiana or have never been to Terre Haute, don't. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, fucking, we went to a speedway in Terre Haute to grab some gas so Alex could make, because he dropped me off in Indy and then fucking he made his way back home to Cincinnati still night. So we had a lot of driving. And with 15 miles per gallon average, he had to fucking get some gas. So, but yeah, we went to one of the more ghetto speedways I've ever been to in my life. Yeah, didn't
Gas
like
is
it.
gas.
Gas is gas. So, but yeah, Alex, that's about all I've got, honestly. I've been doing my own March Madness brackets on my own. Doing pretty good in those in the family friend group. I've got fucking one that can still finish in first and a couple that can finish in third. First place can take home around $1,500 this year. Third place would take home about 150. So no, 300. Take about fucking 300 home. So I've got a chance at some money still. But we'll have to see what happens.
I didn't do any for money this year, but there's two. I think I did 4 or 5 total,
Okay.
and 2 of them were in like groups.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure last time I looked, I'm in like last place in both of them.
I did
But
do that one in Colts group. I just don't know how to fucking check how I did.
I'll check for you.
Okay.
But yeah, it shows I'm in last place or second to last place in both those, but I'm one of the ones with like the top like points remaining left. So there's still time.
Fucking plenty of time. So Alex, that's kind of all for my week. I know this was a very long 1 week segment, but we had a lot to fucking talk about. Finally did something together. It's been a while. I mean, that's probably my first time seeing you since Matt. Has that been since Matt's bachelor party?
Was the races after that?
The races might have been just after that. So either the races or Matt's bachelor party. So it's been since fucking September, October since I'd seen you in person.
Yeah, we hung out. We've hung out probably once a month for a few months.
Yeah, we did pretty good for a couple months, and we got busy around the holidays and fucking wintertime and shit. Yeah. So
I feel like I went up to your house just recently before that. Who knows?
I don't think so. It's been a bit, I think. But we'll figure something out. Yep. Oh yeah, you did get to meet the dog.
Got to meet Cappy the dog.
Got to meet Cappuccino. She's a 15-year-old Aussie mix, and she's adorable, and we love her. And
she's 15.
She's almost 15, dude.
That's wild. I did not
She's
know
in
that.
great shape for 15, isn't she?
Yeah, no wonder
She
she's
looks like
just so well.
9. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to jump into week one of March Madness and
We
other
might as
news?
well. We might as well let's talk some college basketball for a bit. My favorite game of the week, and Alex, I'll let you give your opinion. My favorite game of week 1 was Creighton beating Louisville in Rupp Arena in Kentucky, which is pretty much home game for them because fuck Louisville. Which was fun to see. Alex, what was your favorite game you think from the first 2 rounds?
First two rounds was probably BYU and Wisconsin. I think that was a really good
That
game.
was a good ball game. And we will actually talk about that one in a fucking little bit. I believe, right? I think we
Yeah.
should be talking about that one soon.
Yep.
Yep. And that will actually segue us into our next segment, which is we have an upset alert. All right, so this is March Madness, and things get kind of mad here. Funny enough, not really this season, but Alex, we had a couple upsets. First off, number 2 St. John's loses, and Rick Pitino loses to number 10 Arkansas, led by John Calipari, the former University of Kentucky head coach. So getting kind of a nice old buddies matchup between the two.
Hmm.
So Arkansas is now the only 10 seed to move on out of the round of 32 and into the Sweet 16. Every other Sweet 16 team is a single digit seed for the first time in a fucking minute, which is shocking to see because typically we see a nice Cinderella upset.
Hmm.
And then, as Alex was alluding to, BYU beat Wisconsin. That score was 91 to 89 at the end of the second half, which 180 points in fucking no overtime is wicked. But after the game, BYU celebrated via a self alley oop and a slam dunk, and one of the players was also waving goodbye to the Wisconsin fans. And Alex, we both have played sports into the collegiate level. Is karma going to bite them for this one?
Um, I wouldn't. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. But I would probably say there's a good chance.
Who do they have next? Do they have Alabama?
Let's
I
see.
believe so. I
BYU
think it's the battle of the messed up families.
plays.
Either the one that's doing their cousin or the one that's should be Bama. Pretty
Where
sure
are
I
they
saw that
at?
today. They're up in the top right.
Yes, BYU plays Alabama.
That's what I thought. And then the winner of that will play the winner of the Duke Arizona game, which that one we'll talk about in a second too, because he has some connection to that. But I think Alabama's gonna rock their shit, dude. If we're being honest, I think Alabama's bigger, faster, stronger than BYU. I don't think the Mormons are gonna hang on long.
They've been good. Alabama's been good for a couple of years, and they just
Yeah,
seem
they
to
have.
keep getting stronger.
Yep. Um, Alex going to the Duke Arizona game. You've got Caleb Love on there, who's a former UNC guy. He has knocked Duke out of the tournament once before. Will he do it again?
I sure hope so. I really like Caleb Love. I was
I,
watching.
yeah.
I was watching. What was it? Oregon and Arizona, and I watched him kind of take over that last little bit of that game. So it was
Yep.
awesome. You have
So
his nameplate still, don't you?
I do. So when I worked, so my company, we covered the Indy Classic of 2023 when the first game was Ball State, Indiana State, and then the second game was Purdue, Arizona, when Arizona was number 1 and Purdue's number 3, fucking, and that was in Indianapolis. So Purdue traveled heavy, number 3 Purdue knocked off number 1 Arizona, and so Arizona obviously left pretty pissed off, and I left a lot of shit in their locker room of just like things that were there for like fucking decor. And so I at least knew who Caleb Love was. I wish I had known Umar Bala was going to become a Hoosier because I would have grabbed his. But I was able
Right.
to grab Jordan Love's locker nameplate, or
Caleb Love.
Caleb Love's locker nameplate from above his locker after they left, and I was free to do so. So there was no issue with it. But yeah, I was able to grab that and so I can hang it up in my office at school, which is really cool. So, Alex, do you want to run us through the? So, obviously, if you guys remember last week, we filled out the TGOW podcast bracket on ESPN. We actually did pretty good. Alex, do you want to run us through all of the stats and information on that? Because I know you're kind of, I know you've got all that stuff ready to roll for us.
Yep. So round of 64, first round games. In total, our bracket got 24 of them correct, and obviously 8 we did not get correct. Some of them, and we talked about it like on the trip and stuff. Some of them we're like, what were we thinking? So
Yeah,
had no idea.
like the Georgia Gonzaga one. I don't know
Yeah,
what we were
exactly.
thinking there. That was
Yeah.
the one that the one that I'm still not too mad about getting wrong was the Liberty Oregon one. It was a
Yeah.
12-5 game, and I was kind of fucking rooting against Oregon because they beat out our Hoosiers. So obviously we were gonna root Liberty there. So it, you know, shit happens. It's March.
Yeah. Some of the ones we got wrong was like Purdue High Point, and I know in the
Yeah.
video or in our last podcast when we did it, it was just we just didn't want Purdue to move
Yeah.
on, so we were
Yep.
kind of manifesting that.
Yep. And then
And
we were
then
hoping that Purdue would get knocked off by, who's the 12 seed from there?
McNeese.
McNeese. We were hoping they get knocked off by McNeese and lose to their double-digit seed, and they didn't, which sucks. But they got a fucking game against Houston, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, they got a game against
there's still hope.
Houston, but Purdue's in Indianapolis for that.
Yeah, I know. My dad was talking about that. How Houston's got to be pissed because Purdue gets a home game.
Dude, it is so it's at Lucas Oil. It's not at Gainbridge. So it's at the football stadium, and they're actually just cut. They're not even going to fucking fill it out like they would for the Final Four. It's only going to be half of it. So there's first off some of the seats
It's
can be
less
fucking,
than a half.
yeah, it's fucking small, so which is odd. I'm shocked they're not opening the whole thing up. You'd think they would.
I looked up tickets for that. And
They're
it was
expensive,
unreal.
dude. They're legit crazy. They're a couple hundred, I think.
It was for the whole. The ones I
It's
looked
for
up
the
was
session,
for
yeah.
the whole like both of them.
Okay, yeah, for both games because it's Houston, Purdue, and then fucking who else plays that? It's not the
Kentucky and
Tennessee game. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Kentucky,
so they're all local.
and they're good ball games.
Yeah. So for all sessions, you can get lower level 217, which actually isn't that bad.
No, how
But
much?
it's $463 per ticket.
Well, that doesn't include taxes and fees yet. So you're looking at
Yeah, that's before
How
fees.
much is it?
463. So it's at least 500 per ticket.
So you're looking at fucking 550 probably because you're looking at 9% sales tax in Indiana, or maybe it's 8%, eight or 9% sales.
It's 7 in Indiana.
No, interesting.
Up there,
you're
up there might have like a county tax too.
I think we have a county tax. But fucking so you're looking at least 7% sales tax. Plus you're looking at probably another 25 or 30 in fucking admin fees. I mean, you're looking at 500 a ticket, dude. There's a lot better things to spend $1,000 on if you're going with your buddy.
If you only want to go to the Sweet 16, they're 183 for level 633, which is
Jesus,
like in the corner and way up there.
dude, you can't see shit without binoculars.
Like, come on, Blue.
That's a strike.
Yeah. But other than those, so like UCLA and Utah State was a blowout. I don't know. I think we were just mad at
Rooting
UCLA
against.
for joining the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're not a Big Ten team.
Yeah. But other than that, second round, since that's concluded, we got 9 right and 7 wrong in the.
Okay, so we
And
how many of
second
those 7 wrong did did we just have the not how many of those 7 wrong did we have the 2 right people and just got the pick wrong?
Okay, so in the second round, the first one was ISU over UNC, and neither one. ISU was in there, but they
Okay.
lost.
North Carolina beat it.
No, North Carolina lost to Ole Miss. But
That's right. Yeah,
But we had North Carolina in the second round.
yeah. Okay.
So in the second round, it was Ole Miss versus Iowa State,
Okay.
and
I
then the next one we had Marquette beating Michigan State, but it was New Mexico and Michigan State.
That's right. Shaka did Shaka the world by getting out early again.
Yep, and Michigan State ended up winning that.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Drake and Texas Tech, which we did have correct,
Yep.
but we had Drake beating Texas Tech. But Texas
We got a
Tech,
little happy with
found
Missouri
out
Valley.
yeah, Texas Tech we found out is pretty tough.
Well, better than we thought.
Yeah. I just saw. I think his name's TJ Toppin. I wonder if he's related to Obi from the Pacers.
I've heard
we'll
that
find
name.
out.
I'm not a big NBA fan.
I just know because it's Pacers.
Yep. So who is our Sweet 16 right now then, Alex?
That we have right.
Yeah. Who did we get right in the Sweet 16, and then who is left as well that's actually playing in the Sweet 16?
So people that we have in Sweet 16 that are in is Auburn, Michigan, Florida, Maryland, Tennessee, Houston, Alabama, Arizona, and Duke.
Okay, so we got fucking okay. And then who else is in that we did not call being in?
Um, BYU because we had Wisconsin.
Okay. Which I mean, that's we were pretty. I mean, it was a good game. So I mean, credit to us on that.
Yeah. Um,
Pat myself on the back.
Purdue's in
Mm-hmm.
because we had High Point beating them
So
first.
didn't we have fucking High Point? Who did we have winning that? High Point or McNeese though? Who did we have going on?
We had McNeese.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, at least we got the fucking matchup right for the second round. Oh no, we didn't. 'Cause we had High Point. Never mind.
Yeah.
Scratch
Close.
that.
Illinois, Kentucky. We rooted against against Kentucky,
Per usual.
but yeah, Kentucky ended up winning.
Yeah.
So over here,
Holy shit! Wait, Kentucky won a game as a 3 seed.
yeah,
Who would have thought? Calipari couldn't do that. Fuck.
2.
2 and 3 because he lost to Oakland as a 3 seed and St. Pete's as a 2 seed.
Mm.
Yeah.
So down here, we had St. John's in Kansas, but it was Arkansas and St. John's.
Yeah, we screwed that one up.
Yeah, and then the top part of that, we had. Oh, we already did Drake and Texas Tech.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. Okay, so I mean, overall we did pretty good. Any fucking crazy scores you want to talk about? I know I've got 2 that I'd like to talk about. Actually, and then let's talk about some crazy scores, and then we'll fucking move on to the Elite Eight. We'll talk about our picks for getting into the Elite Eight, in the Final Four. But a couple scores. Do what?
The only real crazy one I can think of is the UCLA Utah State one.
So a couple scores that I remember that were fucking crazy. I do agree with that because that one was
And
quite the
Gonzaga,
blow up.
Georgia.
Gonzaga, Georgia at one point, ladies and gentlemen, was 27-3 Gonzaga. How the fuck do you let up 9 times the points? Like a 9-1 scoring ratio in basketball is fucking crazy. Like, how do you just? And then the other one that was crazy to me was the McNeese State Clemson game was 31-13 at half. McNeese State. If you're ACC Clemson, who is a 5 seed in the tournament, how the hell do you only put up 13 points in a half? That is under a point a minute. You're knocking on you're knocking on a point every 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
for an ACC
crazy.
team.
That's crazy.
The crazy one I had was UCLA and Utah State because it was 72-47. It's like I get UCLA; they were what were they, Pac-12, and now
Yeah, they
they're
were Pac-12. Now they're Big Ten.
Big Ten. I get that, and Utah State's I don't even know what conference they're in, but either way, like
Yeah, I don't know what they are now.
28 points is wild for a 7-10 seed game.
That's an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Uh,
My other one was Gonzaga, Georgia, but that was just also
So-
a nice weapon.
So who's our fucking Sweet 16 matchups here, Alex? Let's make some predictions here on who makes the Elite Eight, and then
Okay.
can't really do too much for the final. I mean, we can talk a little Final Four, but we'll get to that obviously next week as well.
Yeah. So first, Auburn and Michigan.
I think Auburn wins that.
We have Auburn winning that, yeah.
We have Auburn winning. I think the whole thing.
Yes. Second one going down is Ole Miss and Michigan.
Michigan or Michigan State?
Oh, my bad. Michigan State.
I'm about to say, I thought we just said Michigan.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think that could go either way, if we're being honest. Michigan State is good, but I think they're undersized. I think Ole Miss could trample them a little bit.
well, seeing where are they at? They beat North Carolina, which I mean, obviously North Carolina was like a playing game, but North Carolina's always
Good.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Which I may be biased, but they're always dangerous when it
No,
comes to.
you're
tournament
very
time.
accurate in saying that. I mean, I would agree with that.
And then they beat Iowa State, a 3 seed, 91-78.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I think Ole Miss could do some damage here, and I've also got Ole Miss in my Final Four in one of my brackets, so I'm fucking hoping that we see that somehow, some way. If Auburn doesn't make it, I hope it's Ole Miss. So yeah.
going down, we got Florida and Maryland. I think Florida's just gonna. keep
Boy,
going.
I don't know.
Do you see? Yeah, go ahead. Well, go ahead with what you say. I'll say what I say. What I'm gonna say.
So here's my thing. I watched Maryland play when I fucking covered the Big Ten. And again, if you want to hear all about my covering of the Big Ten men's basketball tournament, pause or finish this episode and then go back and listen to episode 3 or episode 4. It's a fucking awesome episode. But dude, Maryland was good, especially when you look at Derek Queen. Derek Queen just played his ass off. It was, I mean, I think he could carry them a little bit, but again, it's also Florida, who's you know pretty well favored. Is one of the favorites to win the whole thing. So
Mhm. Did you watch his shot, Derek Queen's shot?
the quote unquote gather step.
1,000% of travel.
Yeah, that's in the NBA that's not a travel, but in collegiate basketball that is a travel.
I mean, it was
So
almost a travel in the NBA because he had
it
it in
was
his armpit when he gathered it.
yeah, it was that was a interesting call, but at the same time, as a referee, are you going to pull the whistle out and call travel in that situation, and end the game on a travel, or let the game just play out and let the ball decide who wins?
That's exactly what I said. It's like I kind of understand from a ref's point of view, but like it was blatant. Like if it was like
It was an
a little
egregious
half
travel.
step,
Yep.
I mean I understand because you don't want to be the ref
Hmm.
who goes nope, and especially since he made it. Like nope,
Yeah.
nope, he traveled, and
Yeah. I
everybody's
agree.
gonna be like, well, and then you got your keyboard warrior saying, oh, have you ever heard of a gather step? When
Yeah.
obviously that's only in the NBA.
I agree.
So
Uh,
I don't know. But what I was gonna say about Florida UConn is, do you see Dan Hurley and him whining again in the
so we're going
thing?
to talk about that, I think, in a little bit, and if not, fun fact: I've already started writing week 6, episode 6, and I know that that's in fucking episode 6. So stay tuned if you guys want to hear all of our opinions on Dan Hurley after the game. Tune in next week for
Yeah,
episode 6.
we'll leave you on a cliffhanger for that one.
Ooh, little cliffhanger action. Dun dun dun.
Okay, so Florida, Maryland, down here, Texas Tech and Arkansas.
I think Texas Tech, dude. I think they run that game. I don't think Arkansas is gonna fucking hang with Tech.
I think uh, St. John's against Patino was kind of like their get up game. So
Yeah.
I could see that being a letdown game.
Yep. I agree with that. That they fire up.
Okay, going up to the east, we got Duke and Arizona.
I think that's the best game of the week.
Oh yeah, and Caleb
That's I
Love.
think
I watched him take over the end of the game,
he had like
the
30
other
points
night.
that game, didn't he?
Yeah. So and he knows Duke. So
Yeah. He's fucking played them enough in his
we
career.
we have Arizona winning,
Yep.
but
That's I
we'll see
I
how that
like
goes.
that. I like Arizona. The one seeds have to drop off eventually. In the fucking someone always a one seed always exits in the Sweet 16. And fucking I just maybe it's Duke this year. I understand they're one of the stronger of the one seeds. They're the second strongest probably behind Auburn. And they may even be fucking equally matched. But I could see a very sneaky but still good fucking 4 seed Arizona coming out and doing some damage.
I wonder how many times it's been all one seeds in the Final Four, if ever.
I don't know. I know there's been a couple 1-1 finals,
Yeah,
but all one Final Fours. That because here's the thing: the difference between a 1 seed and a 2 seed typically isn't much.
yeah. Hey,
Difference between
if you know,
oh yeah,
drop a comment. Let us know.
drop a comment and drop a rating, but also drop a comment and let us know.
Yeah, and in the description of your rating, just put in if it's
Yeah,
ever happened and how many times.
facts.
So moving down, we got BYU and Alabama. I could see that one potentially being a good one.
Yeah, that could be fucking good. But again, did BYU just get fired up against Wisconsin, make the Sweet 16, and now they're all fucking tired? I understand they have a ton of time off. But I don't know. And also I didn't pay enough attention. I've been working so much that I don't really get to watch much. But I don't know if there are any significant injuries in any of these games either. We have to watch. So
Oh yeah, I don't know that in depth.
yeah, me either. Sorry, guys, I'm
Um,
yawning.
Going down, we got Houston and Purdue.
I think Purdue wins that. Honestly, I think it's a home game. I think Purdue gets hot.
We have Houston. I think Houston probably is one of the most dominant. Aren't they? Auburn's overall number one.
Auburn's
Uh,
overall number one, followed by Duke. Yeah.
Houston's dangerous.
Houston is a good team though.
And then the last
Wait, so
is,
who's your pick?
I'd say Houston.
So I'm gonna pick Purdue. We'll circle back to this next week.
Yep. The last one, we get Kentucky and Tennessee.
I think that's gonna be a banging game too. Honestly,
They're big rivals, anyways.
I think that whole right side of the bracket, those 4 games are just gonna be 4 really, really. I think the Duke Arizona game is gonna be good, I think the fucking holy shit, who's the next game down? What is that one?
Where?
Duke,
Duke,
Arizona.
Arizona,
After
BYU, Alabama.
yeah, BYU Alabama would be a decent game, I think, but Alabama or Purdue, Houston's going to be really good, especially because it's in Indy. And then Kentucky, Tennessee will travel exceptionally well too. I think that'll be a fucking banging game as well. I think that'll be fun.
I want to go to that so bad. I just
I
don't.
wish I was working it, but it's
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Good job.
I could live
I'm just
you could
kidding.
live vicariously through me again.
I know. Come on, Tyler. Pick it up.
My bad, dude. My bad. I'm trying to get in
Yeah.
on the Final Four next year, but
Ooh.
yeah, hopefully that'd be sick.
So next week we'll pick up on
Our Final Four picks.
Elite Eight, Final Four. Like
Yep.
what happened in Elite Eight and Final Four.
Yep.
So what I have in here? St. John's is our only Final Four team not in.
Okay. So we're doing pretty good. I mean, so we have 3 of the 4 Final Four going into the round of 16, which is, I mean, overall pretty good. I mean, you're normally down 1 or 2 at that point, anyways, just because of someone gets hot. You get the Cinderella story. Someone shits the bed. Someone gets hurt. I mean, there's always something that happens.
Yeah. And fun fact: Arkansas is the only double-digit team left.
Yep. Only one left, which is crazy. So I got a couple interesting facts regarding fucking Final Fours, and winners, former. So no top 2 seed, so a 1 or 2 seed that started the season unranked has ever made the Final Four. Previous teams that were a 2 seed and top 2 seed in the tournament that started the season unranked were 2024 Iowa State that exited in the Sweet 16. 2023 Marquette, who exited in the round of 32. 2022 Arizona, which exited in the Sweet 16, and 2021 Alabama, who made an exit in the Sweet 16. This year we actually had fucking 2. We had Michigan State and St. John's. St. John's is out at this point. Does Michigan break this streak and make the Final Four, or are they gonna fucking run into a really good? Does Michigan State run into? Let's see, who do they even play? I know they can run into Auburn.
Ole Miss. So they play Ole Miss, which
They
is
play Ole Miss,
dangerous right
which
now.
that's a fucking dangerous team to play.
And then either Auburn or Michigan. So good luck.
Here's the thing: I don't think they get past an Auburn or a Michigan.
I don't think so.
Personally, I think this streak continues. So I don't think you have that to worry about. Also, fun fact: every winner of March Madness since 1985, so this includes our '86 Hoosiers, has made it to at least their conference semifinals for their tournament. So that immediately takes out. Does that take out any teams that are left? Really? It has to take out some of the SEC teams that are left.
Yeah.
So it
I
has
don't
to
know
take
that
out
in
like an
depth.
yeah. I don't know who all played in those, but it
No.
has to take out a couple of the SEC teams.
Yeah. Talking about IU.
Talking about IU,
New
go
hire.
ahead. New hire. Indiana has hired former Drake and West Virginia head coach Darian DeVry. So Darian DeVry started off as a GA at Creighton and then an assistant coach there for about 20 years. Spent 6 seasons at Duke, I believe, and averaged 25 wins each year at Drake. In the previous 47 seasons, Drake had only ever had one 20-win season before. Then went on to did this past season, or technically this current season at West Virginia, was snubbed early from the tournament and has recently accepted the Indiana University job. In his initial interview regarding the job after he'd taken it, he was asked why, and here is the exact statement from Darian DeVry. He said, "This is unquestionably one of the top jobs in America. As someone who grew up in the Midwest loving the game of basketball, I've always admired the IU basketball program for its championship-level success, tradition, and fan support. There's a passion to succeed at the very highest levels, both within the Big Ten and in the NCAA tournament, and that's a desire that as a coach I share. On top of that, the alignment is there on a department and university level to make that happen. I'm excited for this opportunity, and I'm ready to work relentlessly to assemble a staff and a roster that competes for championships." Alex, what's your take on that statement from Darian DeVry?
I mean, fits in with IU.
Sounds a little Signetti-like.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Signetti. So,
Mhm.
I mean, let's hope. I don't
Yep.
know. I just hope we get a coach that stays for a while and does good things. I don't.
Yep.
I
I agree.
Kind of tired of overanalyzing coaches.
I agree. Given he talks about in his statement of creating this roster to win games. We do see that Malik Renew and Gabe Cupps have both announced their entering of the transfer portal. But I believe both have stated that they're going to keep an eye on IU. But I think everyone just kind of says that anyways, just as like a not to piss off all the fans of their alma mater, and not to burn that bridge if they don't need to. But do you think we get either of them back next year, or are they gone?
I would say they're gone, but
I
I
think so
would like
too.
to see Renew back. I liked him.
I like Renew, but I think we can. I think we're gonna find some other bigs out in the portal. I'm sure there's gonna be some big portal announcements in the coming days because the portal opens up way too early, and I know that's something that I've started writing for next week's episode. So again, tune in next week for that. Also, for those of you that don't know, we're actually recording this super late. We normally record on Sunday nights. It's actually Tuesday night about 11 p.m. So fucking the episode actually comes out in like 5 hours from now. So yeah, sorry about that. Um, Alex, anything else you want to talk about on the Darian DeVry being hired at IU?
um, I'm just excited. I hope he does well for us
Hmm.
because we need something.
Yep. I hope he keeps guys like Calbert Cheney and Jordy Hall, some fucking like longtime IU guys that just kind of understand the program. Fucking, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like I understand he'll want to bring in his own guys. Um, I feel like you've also kind of got to keep a little bit of your core of the guys who've been around IU a bit and understand how it works. I
Yeah.
feel like that helps keep people happy.
IU's just it's one of those different colleges because you got some like one thing I noticed is like you got a bunch of colleges that they do different jerseys every year or
Yeah.
like an alternate jersey.
Yep.
IU rarely ever does alternate jerseys because
Yep.
we're big on tradition
Yep.
and things like are always the
Oh,
same.
yeah.
So
I agree. I say
like
tradition
Jordy
is.
Halls and Calvert Cheney are ones that know that by
Yeah.
heart. So yeah,
Yep.
I hope they stay.
Yep. Last topic we've got under basketball news this week. UConn played Arkansas State in the first round of the women's tournament, and the spread was in favor of UConn at minus 44.5 points, and they fucking blew that spread out of the water. I think they won by like 60 something.
UConn's crazy.
UConn's crazy.
They always are.
I feel like that's all we got to say about that.
Yep. All right, topic 2. Getting
All right.
into stuff that we know more about, which after the rant of topic 1, you probably wouldn't think that. But
Yeah.
MLB and then our first round pick. So we didn't do all 10 years. We just kind of did some
Mm-hmm.
either crazy stats or more well-known guys.
Yep.
So Tyler, you do good and I'll do the bad.
All right. Let's work in fucking reverse order annually. Sound good?
Okay.
So starting in 10 years ago, 2015, and these are all the 1-1 picks. The first pick, first round, the top guy. In 2015, Dansby Swanson was drafted, and since then, in the last 10 years, he's accumulated a 2.4 WAR, a 24 WAR, 140 home runs, a 252 average, which is above the Mendoza line, and 557 career RBIs thus far. And obviously, he's become a big name within the Atlanta Braves organization and within Major League Baseball. I think he's made a few All-Star games, so obviously a pretty fucking good player. Don't have any defensive stats on here. These are just kind of the offense. I found this on a Twitter thread. So if I can found this really interesting, I thought I would share this along with you guys.
First one of the standout bad in 2016 we have Mickey Moniak, and if you know who that is, please let us know.
Please comment below.
.9 WAR, 32 home runs, and a 230 average, so barely above the Mendoza line.
Yeah, he's flirting with that Mendoza line real good.
So one thing that I noticed is 1-1 pick. If we don't know their name, that's not good.
Yeah, so if you don't know the name of a 1-1 pick in the last 15 years, I mean, for those of you that aren't, I mean, if you're not a sports fan, you're listening to this. I mean, thanks. I guess
Yeah.
don't know why the fuck you're. I mean, we talk about us in our lives, but we talk a lot of sports too.
Yeah. For those couple in Poland, are you in here for the sports?
Please comment down below and follow our social medias. But yeah, if you're a 1-1 pick in the last, and this goes for any sport, in my opinion, if you're a 1-1 pick in any sport in the last 20 years, and your name is not kind of a household name, that's not a good look in my fucking opinion. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I consider that a bust.
Yep. Moving on to 2019, we have Adley Rutschman out of Oregon State, who we talked about last week. Was also a football player at Oregon State, and if you want to hear all about that, go listen to the episode. He has so far a career 13.1 WAR, 52 career home runs, and hitting at a 261 at a 261 average for the Baltimore Orioles, which is a 261 average is a pretty good average. So yeah, I mean he's done some good work for I think he's been in the league for what 2 or 3 years. He spent a couple years in the minors. I know that.
Yeah.
So
I think the Orioles have become one. I don't want to say laughing stock, but they were bad.
Dude, they were terrible.
I feel like
they're what the White Sox are now.
Yeah, I don't want to say they have a chance at the World Series, but they have a chance to do some damage this year with all the guys.
I think they were one. If we go back to the first episode, I think one of us picked them in the World Series. I feel like it was me. I think we at least picked them in the ALCS. If you remember that. Hey, go back. If you're listening to this, go back, listen to that episode, and comment down below.
Our next on the bad, 2021, Henry Davis. Again, don't know his name.
Who the fuck is Henry Davis?
Negative 2.1 WAR.
Whew.
8 home runs, and Tyler, 191.
That is below the Mendoza line.
Just below the Mendoza
Just
line.
a bit below the Mendoza line.
So
Good night.
Those two I don't have anything to say about because I don't even know who they are. So.
I ain't got fucking shit to say about him. So, Alex, next one's yours, buddy.
All right. So, like we were just talking about, which is kind of contradictory. 2022, Jackson Davis, negative 0.1.
Who?
What did I say? Jackson Davis?
You said Jackson Davis.
I mixed them up. Jackson Holiday.
Henry Holiday. No.
Henry Holiday. Jackson Holiday. Well, if you know baseball, you probably know him.
Yeah, you've heard it. Or you've heard of his dad.
Or at least his dad.
Matt Holiday. Big dog.
0.1 WAR, 5 home runs, below the Mendoza line at 189, and 23 RBIs. But also, I think he had unfair. I think he got called up too soon. And
I
that
agree.
Kind of screwed his stats a little bit.
I agree. He got called up too early. He had no fucking confidence. Stemmed him down for a bit. Brought him back up, and he's doing okay. And I don't even know, Alex. Is he with the big league? Is he with the big club this year, or is he going to be starting off in AAA?
I would guess he's with the club, but I don't know for sure. That's for next week.
Yep. We will talk about that next week. Maybe. Possibly.
Yep. Who's your last one?
Last one is the 2023 1-1 pick in Paul Skeens, the pitcher from LSU. Besides having a national championship and having a well-known and pretty girlfriend, he has a 5.9 WAR, 11 wins, 1.96 ERA, and 170 strikeouts in just a season and a little bit more. I mean, he played a little bit of the 23 season and fucking mostly all of his numbers came from the 24 season. So obviously, dude's a fucking dog. And I think of our players so far in these last 10 years, he's the most impactful 1-1 pick. That is, you know what I mean, thus far. I mean, Dansby's been good, but he's got a 24 WAR through 10 years. I mean, Paul Skeens is blowing that number out of the water just a little bit. So, yeah, I think, obviously Skeens is good. Hopefully he stays healthy. Yeah, he's got, he throws well pretty hard.
Yeah, he takes care of himself pretty well, so hopefully he doesn't have any major injuries.
Yep.
Because, obviously we're NL Central guys, but
yeah,
I kind of root for him. I really like him.
Dude, I wish when he was with the Indians for fucking 2 starts, I could have had a chance to see him. But dude, those games were sold out so fast.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Those games
he had a bobblehead for the Indians,
which is crazy because I think he only had 2 or 3 starts with them.
I know that's what's wild.
How the hell did they get bobblehead night for him?
I don't know.
A couple other topics we have. The Major League Baseball. The New York Yankees have announced that they'll have Tierra Masu helmets at the game this year. So for those of you that don't know. Most ballparks, if not all, fucking have their team helmet, like a batting helmet, and then they either have a big one for nachos, or they have a small one that they do Dippin' Dots for ice cream. The Yankees will be doing tiramisu helmets made with espresso, mascarpone cream. I said ice cream. I don't know why. Ladyfinger cookies and cocoa powder. Alex, how much is this gonna cost?
I'd say at least $20.
I'm sitting at like the 22 or 23 mark. I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, if this is around $15, I'll be shocked because I think a fucking helmet like Dippin' Dots is like 11
Yeah.
in St. Louis.
Yeah, but it's also in New York, so you never know.
Yeah, this one's in New York, so I mean, this could really jump it because they got to pay some salaries. I mean, holy shit. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you see
that
about
one
the
is that's shocking.
Did you see about the Blue Jays fan?
Oh, you talking about with the Phillies game?
Yeah.
That one was funny. So why don't you tell us about that a little bit? Because I think I remember, but refresh me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so apparently, and I saw the video today. Blue
Fuck.
Jays fan sitting behind home plate of the Blue Jays Phillies game mooned the camera during a pitch.
Was
I
it a
was
ball?
shocked. I don't remember. I was shocked that the pitcher didn't step off or anything. He must have been locked in and didn't see it.
Dude, those dudes are fucking locked when they play.
And you can see his wife, the guy's wife that did it. Yeah, it was a guy, by the way.
Oh,
Um, he
boo!
you could see his wife trying to pull him down before he did it, like trying to get him.
He pulled something down.
Yeah, she tried to pull him back into his seat so he didn't do it, but yeah,
She failed.
yeah. So go search that if you
Check
want
it
to
out.
see a man's ass. But
So we're gonna talk
Right.
about last week's. We're gonna transition, I think, to college baseball. Let's see everything else professional wise, Alex.
no, sir.
So we have quite the docket here of college baseball. So we're gonna try and speed through this because this episode's running a little long, but that's fucking a-okay. Quick top 25 briefing. We're just gonna go over the top 5 guys. In order from 1 to 5 is Tennessee, LSU, Georgia, Clemson, Florida State. Obviously, a ton of Southern guys. You don't see any Northern guys until you get up into the 9th spot with Oregon State. But yeah, so the SEC and the ACC are dominating the top 5 per usual. So yeah, Alex.
And top 10,
Oh,
really, besides Oregon
yeah,
State.
yeah. Besides Oregon State, they are. But yeah, so Alex, we have another upset alert. All right, we have our baseball version of the upset alert. 20-0 Tennessee loses a Tuesday midweek game to 16-4 Eastern Tennessee State University, 7-6 in the 10th inning. Tennessee is now no longer an undefeated team. I feel like they've won a couple since, if I remember that, but they've officially lost this year. Mercer brings in Friday night starter to hold number 5 Florida State in the 7th inning in an 8-3 ball game. They ended up winning 9-3 at Florida State, so Mercer gets a nice ranked win at Florida State. UTSA, which is University of Texas San Antonio, beats number 6 Texas at Texas 8-7. So that's all I have to say about that. If you want to know what I just did, watch the video. California Polytechnic beats number 8 Oregon State on a walk-off nuke. And University of Washington loses 3-1 to the D3 Daddies, Pacific Lutheran University, as a Division I program. So those are our big upsets from this past week, and hopefully more to come next week because we all love college baseball and midweek baseball. I think technically started tonight. I think all the midweek games typically are Tuesday nights, so we should have a good docket of that next week.
So we know we both like food. So
I'm a
did
food
you
guy.
see Penn State celebrates Dollar Dog Night?
Dollar Dog Night.
They sold 7,506 total hot dogs. One game, not multiple, not a series. One game.
You know what, Alex? I've spent time around Penn State fans, and they can be insufferable, but I have one thing to say to them from this.
Yeah, you have firsthand run-ins.
Yeah. 7,500 hot dogs in a fucking 9-inning game. I want to do some math here. I'm going to pull out the old calculator.
I understand dollar. So that's $7,506 worth of hot dogs. In case you're
Yes.
wondering, that's why you got your calculator.
Ooh. No.
My thing.
Fucking dick. Alrighty. Damn. Let's try to do some math here, but fuck.
I get it's Dollar Dog Night, but to buy more than 7,506 hot dogs is absolutely crazy.
So in a 9-inning game, that is 834 an inning. A typical baseball game lasts approximately 3 hours, which means they sold 2,502 hot dogs an hour. Divided by 60 is 41.7 a minute. So that means divided by 60 again, they sold about 2 hot dogs every 3 seconds the whole fucking night.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of hot dogs, dude. That's a lot of fucking hot dogs.
Campus diner must have been closed.
Dude, could you imagine the plumbing work that those poor maintenance people are gonna have to do after that? Oh man.
What's the amount of ketchup and mustard that was distributed out on those
Oh
hot dogs?
my.
Too?
Fucking at least a gallon.
Yeah. Also, me and Tyler had a heated discussion about this, and comment if you do it also.
Ooh, yeah.
I do put mayonnaise on my hot dog sometimes, and you thought it was wild.
Dude, I'm not putting mayonnaise on my hot dog. I don't even like mayonnaise, but even if I did, I'm not fucking putting it on my hot dog.
It's not that bad. And it
Okay. If you have to describe it as not that bad, come on.
Well, if you never tried it, like it's good. I like it. And
is it just mayonnaise or do you put more on it?
Sometimes I put ketchup on it.
Do you ever do like one of like the sriracha mayos or something like that, or is it just fucking?
Not on a hot dog.
I think the sriracha might be good.
That'd be interesting though, like a
spicy wiener.
Oh, never mind.
You talking about your spicy wiener? A Division II midweek game between Missouri Southern and Newman University was heading into the 11th inning, tied 24-24. So fucking 48 runs in a Division II baseball game. Missouri Southern scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning to extend their lead from 19-14 to 24-14, but proceeded to let up a 10 spot in the bottom of the 9th to allow the score to get to 24-24. Not sure who won this game, but I'm sure it was not the pitching staff.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Good. I hope it's not. I hope that wasn't a series game.
I see, yeah, because they didn't have any pitching the next day after that fucking game, dude.
Exactly.
Alex, you want to rattle off some hot and cold streaks here? Because everyone loves our hot and cold streaks.
All right. So hot and cold streaks. D1. So Tennessee was on a 22 win streak. So obviously now if you have at least a 2-game win streak, you got better than that.
Yep.
Cold Norfolk State is at 21 straight losses.
Whew.
There we go. Stay hot.
And this was all as of 3/17/25. So obviously it's a little fucking behind, but because of how we release our episodes, they just get backed up. So these are a little delayed, but more fun to come.
Yeah, we'll update you on these next week.
Yep.
We'll always keep you updated. D2, hot Spring Hill, 9 in a row. Bloomfield, cold, 19 in a row.
Ooh.
So not as bad as Norfolk State, but
you want to pass up D3?
Yeah, we'll skip D3 because
we'll talk about them in a second.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. So
yep, we can update that one.
So if you didn't listen to last week's, no, I'm just kidding.
Go listen to it.
We'll jump to NAIA. Hot LSU Shreveport. 25 in a row, so they're 25-0 right now. And did you say there's a former Franklin coach there?
Coach Matthew Lillard is coaching down there, former Franklin assistant coach.
There you go. And then Cold Morris with 20 losses in a row.
20s, that's
all right.
That's tough.
So now to D3. Hot, we got Gettysburg, 14 in a row.
They're addressing some runs.
Yep. And there you go.
There
you go. So our cold, freezing cold, ice cold,
frozen.
Yeah, under 32 degrees. We have Yeshiva, which bumped theirs up from, I think it was 87 last week. They're up to 89
straight losses.
89 straight losses.
How do you lose?
If you play 30 games a year, that's 3 years of losses.
That's 3 years of losses. How do you not win a baseball game? Yeah, I mean, do they only play like LSU and Arkansas and fucking Tennessee and Georgia? I mean, you know what I mean? I guess every game of theirs.
You guys go to School of the Blind or something for one game at least.
At least schedule Fontbonne. Boom, roasted.
Now that Matt's gone.
Yep. So I think it's about. I mean, it's kind of it for college baseball, but we're gonna
It
move
is
on to
time.
it
It is
is
time.
time. Everyone, get your clocks out. Check it because it is time for this week's ear shitting me situation of the week. All right, everybody, welcome to this week's ear shitting me situation of the week, brought to you by Charmin Ultrasoft and Chico's Bail Bonds. Not actually brought to you by Charmin Ultrasoft and Chico's Bail Bonds. So sticking with the theme of college baseball, Alex, this past week, the University of Michigan had an infielder named Mitchell Voigt who had to issue a public apology on social media Monday after his controversial and drug-inspired celebration during an 11-0 victory over USC. So Voigt is a 20-year-old junior from Wisconsin. In this game against USC, he went 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored and 4 RBIs, so responsible for 7 of 11 runs. But it was not his excellent performance in the game that had fans talking on social media. During the game, Voigt hit a triple, which included him diving headfirst into third base. And instead of standing up and doing a normal celebration, he decided to use the chalk foul line, as a line of cocaine and pretend to snort it. Will he be suspended by the University, the Big Ten, the NCAA? Will he be fined? And honestly, will he even be drug tested?
Yeah, he probably showed up to practice the next day with a. Hey, you've been randomly selected.
Have you seen the fucking meme where the dude's like the NFL guy's trying to swipe to the
Oh, yeah.
that was in the next day that access tonight. What? Like,
Yeah. They cut me already?
come on. Funny enough, remember when for those of you who don't know, Alex and I like to play video games together. One of our fucking video games that we play is College Football 25, just like everyone else in the world, and we actually played against a Michigan baseball player who sweat on us and shit talked us, and then I told him that his girlfriend was ugly because I looked her up on Instagram and she was. But Alex, is this that guy? I wish I could remember that fucking dude's name.
That'd be funny, but I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either. Sadly enough, that the dude we're talking about was kind of a dog, so yeah. He was actually good at baseball. University. Yeah, dude hit bombs apparently, which sucks. I was really hoping he was gonna like some bench rider who fucking blew at baseball, but no, he's actually pretty good. So
yeah.
fuck.
Hopefully, yeah, we're hoping he was one of us.
One of us. One of So, but yeah. So there's lots. So in today's day and age, when you look at baseball celebrations, there's some odd ones. I've seen like the kids like hump the ground after they get a double or fucking score, and it's kind of weird because like you're 11 and you're looking at your mom humping the ground. There's other ones where kids are like, pretend to jerk off or fucking, what I mean, doing some weird shit. I feel like snorting a line of cocaine is opening yourself up for a lot more controversy than any of those other ones, honestly, just because it portrays a very different image. It goes from being kind of weird but goofy to like, that just ain't, you know what I mean? Like, it just ain't it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that kids, first of all, and anybody else realize that he took it a little too far, because he did.
Yeah.
He did like tweet an apology or something, right?
Yeah, he did. He released a big apology about it and saying that it was something along the lines like, I feel bad, I shouldn't have done this, did all that fucking stuff. Yeah.
So hopefully they see that and then they just realize themselves that you probably shouldn't do that.
No, you should not.
So let's hope that doesn't.
Hopefully that's the end of that celebration, because that was pretty fucking up.
Yeah. I understand like in the heat of the moment stuff, but that was a little much.
That one seemed a little pre-planned, like he had talked about it with his buddies. Like, I need to wait for the right opportunity. And
pre-planned or muscle memory.
Yeah,
hence the drug test.
Hence the drug test. But yeah, that's just one of those where, like, I don't know, in the heat of the moment, it's the last thing I'd think to do. And I'm my guess, and this is pure speculation here, from the news media reporting aspect of it, because that's what I'm going to claim us to be, is fucking news media reporters. But I'm guessing that him and his buddies were sitting around, hey, what's a funny celebration we can do? Fucking, they're like, oh, you hit a triple, you can snort it like a line. And everyone's like, oh, that's me fucking hilarious. Oh, everyone's gonna think it's funny. And then you do it, and everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? That's pretty fucked up.
So you know what? Actually, that wasn't that funny.
Like, oh. So yeah, I don't think that's I don't think it's gonna catch on. Because I think most parents would whip their kids' ass if they saw their kids doing that. So
I would.
Fuck. So, anything else you got on that one, Alex?
I do not.
All right, guys. That's been this week's ear shit me situation of the week. All right, you guys. That was this week's ear shit me situation of the week, brought to you by Charmin Ultra Soft and Chico's Bail Bonds. Not actually brought to you by Charmin Ultra Soft and Chico's Bail Bonds. Boy, that's Alex. It's an hour 35 in. It's been a fucking pretty good episode, dude. What do you think?
Yep. I love kind of sharing like our weeks, and I think the viewers like that.
I hope so too.
Especially this week.
Yep. We had a good week. Hopefully some cool stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. Hoping to get together with you. Hoping to get together with Nick. Guys, please comment down below stuff that you're liking that we're doing, stuff that you're not liking. Obviously, we'll make some fucking tweaks. We love talking sports. Obviously, that's kind of our whole fucking thing. But at the same time, we also like to, we want to talk to you guys about what we've been doing the past week. And what you guys also need to do is pause what you're doing and hop over to the YouTube at this spot, because you're going to get to meet a very special guest if he would like to say hello.
You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tucker. Hi, buddy. Everyone, let's give a big round of applause for Alex's son, Mr. Tucker William
What are you doing
Smith.
with your Peter?
Nothing for you.
What are you doing with
So, all right, Alex, anything else you got for us today?
I don't. Send us out.
All right, you guys. Well, everyone, that is our show for today. We want to thank you again so much for tuning in, as we always appreciate you spending your time with us. We know there's a billion other podcasts out there that you could be listening to, and we appreciate you listening to us and spending your time with us. We will have a new episode for you every Wednesday morning at 4 a.m. right here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And as of now, we have episodes posted on YouTube. The last 4 are posted on there for you to listen to. This one will be the first one we actually see us doing it live. So be sure to check that out. Also, please be sure to like the episode, give it a rating for us if you would. It helps to grow our show, and subscribe/follow follow wherever you listen to us, whether it's on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube.
You want to let me plug them?
Go ahead and plug them, Alex.
All right. If you're on Instagram, if you're an Instagram person, 2 Guys 1 Week. TikTok, 2 Guys 1 Week Pod.
Yep.
X, formerly Twitter, TGOWpod, and YouTube, 2 Guys 1 Week.
Yep. Like I said, all those. Tomorrow I will be having out the video of my fish. You'll get to hear Ryan Casey fucking making fun of me, and it's a great time. So yeah, that is this week's episode, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Alrighty.
What a way to end it, Tucker.
Dude, we fucking killed that, dude. That was a good that was a really fucking good episode, I think. So, here,
What's up?
you want to talk for a couple minutes? I'm going to hit edit, and I'll